sounded good.
Oh, we're here.
I'll walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
In the game, they're almost equally. They're of equal height. There's not this much of a discrepancy.
No, that's like I said. She looks like she could be Ellie.
Yeah, true.
She looks like Ellie. Like
the
everything
face,
about her
yeah.
looks like Ellie. Yeah.
True.
This
yeah.
is not Abby. Oh, this is gonna hurt.
I kind of agree with you. I think I'm more on board with you. Like even just looking at this, like how oh yeah, all right.
Like I get that she's gonna be like, you know, frustrated and fiery, but I guess they had to do it because Ellie is so
Sure.
little.
I guess so, but still, even in the game, Ellie is little compared to Abby. Like, okay, so mild spoiler warning for everybody out there looking. In the game, Ellie and Abby get into a pretty big brawl. It is one-sided when they are brawling. Ellie gets the upper hand by like planting like, you know, the bombs and the detonators and everything and blah. But when Ellie's able to get her hands on Ellie, it is not a fair fight. The way that these two look, it's almost like when they finally have blows to blow, it's gonna be equal. And it wasn't. I don't know. That was like one of the big things that I was kind of looking forward to the most, is how they're gonna do Abby. You know, they're gonna get this massive jacked woman, and nope.
But the problem is we got Bella Ramsey, so they have to say, well, how can we bring somebody down to the point where we can see there being a, you know, head to head.
Easy.
And
You simply make Ellie smart. That's the point. Ellie was smart.
I know.
Abby was a brute. That's the point here. So we're gonna keep going.
And I fear no evil, because I'm blind to it all.
Just the room with the fireplace, the bags, they're overlooking, everything spot on.
With the giant windows, the whole thing looks like a ski lodge.
Yeah. Yes.
Beautiful.
100%.
Beautiful.
Yes.
The only thing, I don't want to keep ripping on her, but the only thing that makes her Abby is her tenacity and her braid. That is it.
And now the beanie.
And now the beanie. But now she's outside hugging her gun because it's cold.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, she is a little kid.
Yeah.
It's so different than
I don't know how they're gonna do this. All right.
I know how they're gonna do it. It's just gonna be different.
Yes.
It's not gonna have the same gravity.
You know what? Maybe that's the point. Maybe the point is making her different so it throws us off because we played the game. They don't want, you know.
Well, hey, they did this with Walking Dead.
True.
They did that where they're like, hey, here's a bunch of fans who love the graphic novel. Let's give them something different. So they're enjoying something new as well. And they may love it or they may hate it, but we're going to hope that they like it because it's different enough, but similar enough.
Carl lost his eye instead of
oh my
God,
Daryl?
No. Rick. Carl lost his eye instead of Rick. I think Rick loses his eye in the comic.
Wasn't Carl supposed to die?
Yes, that too.
Yeah, see, there was a whole the whole story got changed. They did that just to make things different, because if you followed along with that, they'd be like, well, this is too much like the original.
Sure.
So I think they're trying to do that to us here. It's just now that I'm in on the initiated, you know, watching this, I'm going like, oh, what are you doing?
They changed yeah, I know what you mean.
So maybe I'm just, you know, jaded by that.
Sure, it's possible.
I don't know.
In my mind, my gun, they comfort me, because I know I'll kill my enemies when they come.
The snowball fight. Walking, listening to them talking, looking at all the stuff, and everybody talking in the background. Yeah.
Let's just walk. Let's just spend the next 10 minutes just like pushing forward.
Sure.
Take a slight left. Take a slight right. Keep going.
I said this.
Oh,
I said this to Chuck
it was
last
so
week.
draggy.
The show was moving a lot faster than the game did because you could
Yeah, and
easily 2.5, 3 hours just in Jackson alone waiting to leave. And I said this
and he's
too.
over there. He was over there complaining about how slow it is. But it's like you don't even know.
Let him complain.
You have no idea.
Let him
I
complain.
know.
And he's gonna watch this. You can complain all you want, dude. I don't care.
Oh no,
But
he just
listen.
texted us. He just texted us in the middle of this conversation.
Here we go.
Oh boy. Oh.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
I'm nowhere near my phone, so I'm asking you what happened.
Oh no, he just said that should have been the season opener.
Okay.
He's talking about.
Don't read anymore.
Yeah, so
tell him that we're in the middle of watching it.
No. He's oh, he's talking about this.
Yeah. That should have been the season opener. Yeah.
I thought he was talking about Daredevil.
Oh. Well, there you go.
I'm just gonna say shh.
Input from Chuck, even though he isn't even here. But yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life.
So in playing the game, you get like all of this disjointed like situation, and then you get the back like, oh, let's rewatch and see what happened to it.
Sure.
But the whole thing with the sandwiches, you get that really early on. You have no idea why this dude's giving you sandwiches and why she's such a jerk to him.
Yeah.
But now, because we're watching it this way, we see it. So it's like, okay.
It's just another
example. All kind of lines up here.
It's just another example about how the show is moving a lot faster than the beginning of that game.
Thank God.
there is that. I have a really strong feeling that after the season over and Chuck goes back and play it, he's gonna be like, okay, all right, maybe, but we'll see what happens. But no, so far so good. It's moving really fast.
Yeah, it's doing well.
And I will dwell on this earth forevermore.
What are they trying to do with her?
I don't know. Like
I feel like it's a different take. Like
so
a very different take on Abby.
So do I. Yes.
Like she's all fire, but no.
She doesn't have the bulk
presence
or the experience to match her tenacity, like you said.
Right,
she does not have everything to back that up. And I don't get I mean, just like there's no way that in the game she would slip and fall like that. Like on the snowbank. Later on in the game when she's like in a really, really high place, she's afraid of heights and fine. She's on like a little steep incline and she tries to like, no, there's no way that would happen. And even in the game.
Was that her in the game with the skins or whatever they call
the scars?
them?
Yes.
Scars, yeah.
And you're up way, way high up and you're crawling across the buildings and you're doing the jump and she's scared to death. Fine. You're scared of heights. This is not a thing where you're scared of heights. This is just a thing where you were stupid and you thought that you were going to be able to climb down snow. Like, I get it. I get what you're going for, but come on. Like, that's just
while we're here, I'll say it again. So I've played 3 of the Uncharted games. I'm on the 4th now. And I see now that they've tried. I mean, this is clearly when they made the 3rd, they already have made Last of Us because they're starting to incorporate stuff that made Last of Us great into Uncharted.
Okay.
And then in 4, you're like, okay, clearly we're here. I love that in these games, in The Last of Us, when you're climbing slowly across a tiny bridge, you know, you have to be careful.
Yes.
You can't just like press forward and you're like, oh, I know I'm gonna make it because I can just make it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about that. It's like you have to pay. You
got to balance yourself out. Yeah.
To everything, every step you take matters. Whether you're hiding behind a counter or walking slowly across a bridge, it all matters.
Yes.
whether you're
100%.
facing this way or somebody's behind you. And I love that they made this in the games.
Yeah.
You press a button that will quickly turn you around because you have to do that.
Yes.
Because you don't know what's behind you. And I will say playing this game with surround sound or headphones makes a huge difference.
100%. Yeah.
In the dark, playing these games in the dark with like a full surround sound or headphones,
You're immersed in that experience.
You are completely in it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
when
it's
things
very
pop
immersive.
up, you
yes.
scream out loud.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. You
Yeah.
scream. You yell. You go like it happens.
So I like how fast these 2 episodes are going to get us out of Jackson. I do like that. And I also, despite us having minor complaints about it, I also do like that they are changing the characters up a little bit. This is not the Abby that we know from the game.
No. But
it kind of keeps you on your toes a little bit. Do I think she needs to be more bulked up a little bit? Yeah. Do I think she should be a little bit more sure of herself and like trained up a little bit? She should not be going into this thing as naive and green as she is. This is a recipe for disaster. But it's keeping me on my toes, and I'm wondering what's going to happen and how this is going to go. So it's definitely intriguing. It's intriguing me a lot. So yeah.
I just really hope that there is a character development that makes her formidable.
Sure.
And not just like,
but you know
okay,
what?
Well, she's young and and
you know
both
what that
tiny
goes
and
that goes in
like
that
I really
goes in,
hope they don't just do that to make it because we know nothing.
That goes into another change, because if you look at Ellie, she's more reckless in the show than she is the game. Especially like the last episode, she fell through the floor. She's getting into like, incredibly close combat with infected. Like she would never do anything like that in the game. And
but
especially
we are when we play the game. When we play 2, we are reckless like her because we know clickers can be taken out with this.
Right.
We know that we can sneak up this way. Like we've already learned the skills from the first game. So that's what's cool about that. And like we still want to follow Ellie. And honestly, like here, when I remember when I first played this game, I was like, oh, here's this character Abby. I like Abby. And then you realize Abby's an enemy or whatever. And you go,
you're right.
Oh, I don't like Abby anymore.
remove the gameplay from what I just said. I'm talking about like she comes in contact with the stalker.
Yeah.
Run at me. She never would have been that loud in the game.
No.
Like that you don't have the option to like make her talk and everything and like make her yell in the game.
Right.
You don't have that option.
There's still a clicker somewhere nearby.
Sure. But that's the mentality that Ellie in the game had that Ellie on the show doesn't have.
True.
So there are character changes on both ends. So
said I walk beside the still waters and they restore my soul.
Man, yeah, that was fantastic. That was awesome. Oh my god.
So good.
It looked amazing. It looked fantastic.
I mean, the horde of them chasing after her was like excessive but great. But then when she got over the wall and then the whole fence thing, I mean, you heard me. Like we were like, oh,
we both said it. Do it. Yes. 100%.
It was perfect. It was spot on.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Who's the hand? Of course, we know who the hand's
we knew
be.
that was coming. Like
that was a very well put together adaptation. And of course, Joel is going to reach down to a little girl who's needing help.
Yes. Yeah.
And here's little Abby.
Oh my god. I love the visual of the one runner,
the one that makes it through?
No, not the one that makes it through, but the hand, how it's going in and the wire of the fence is cutting through. Oh my god, that must hurt. Jesus. That was it.
Oh man. That was beautifully done.
That was very well done. That was very well done. And you know what? Here's the thing too. Like, and it's practical, but it works. The reason why they were able to get away with having so many of them is because they were able to hide a lot with the snow. So you wouldn't even need all those extras in full makeup. You go out there, rags, whatever you want to do. All right, just run massive blizzard. No one's gonna. You can't make out. That's amazing. That's fantastic. It's so practical. It works so well.
But I can't walk on the path of the right because I'm wrong.
least we didn't have the whole Dina Ellie
The whole
scene.
love scene.
Yeah, that was not necessary. So at least they cut that out and just
I
had
guess
this.
so. I guess in the game, well, you needed to kind of establish their relationship a little bit in the game because they're gonna like set off together, so you have to like give them something. But I don't know what they're
Here
gonna
we have
do
the
here.
other way around. Yeah,
Sure.
well, here it's just like they're hanging out, they're doing their thing. We've already established there's a relationship.
Okay, fine. Fine.
Because they did it here as opposed to in the game where they replayed it after.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
we already
okay.
established
We
the
don't.
Dina
Yeah.
Ellie thing. We don't
I
have
guess
to go
so.
further.
I guess so.
So
Yeah.
all right,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I will say, like, oh man, they're doing a better job with pacing. I know Chuck hates it, but
100%.
this is paced so much
This
better
is
than
paced
the game.
very well. We're ramping everything up really well.
Yeah,
Really well.
it's-
The stakes are already very high. Yeah.
Well, I came upon a man at the top of a hill.
She's holding
Yeah.
on to her enemy, and
Yeah.
this is like, oh, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's
But
so
she had
weird.
the same thing happened in the game where she was reliant on Joel in that moment because she was going to die. Like in that moment, you have to work together.
I get it. I get it, but it's like he selflessly grabbed her and saved her,
Very true.
and she's
Very true.
Mm.
Very, very true. Not saying
It's so
that
hard.
it is, but that's what makes this story so amazing. Is because he still deserves what he got coming. There's no getting around that. He deserves his upcomings, and she deserves her revenge. Let's not mince words with that.
I get it. It's just so weird. Imagine holding on to, for safety, the person that is your mission
Yeah.
to kill.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, her whole mission is to take this guy out.
Yeah.
And she is holding on to him for her dear life.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing
It's
with
weird because at
It
this
is.
point, she could just be like, "Flip, done. That's it." But she won't because she's using him, which makes me go, I hate her more
you. Kinda.
because she's using her enemy to then kill him.
100%.
It's like, oh. So when you play the game, you're like, I hate this person, but you're forcing me to play her.
Yeah.
Why? Can we just
Yeah.
get back to Ellie? And you're like, okay, I'm Ellie. Can I just die? Can you just let me get killed? Because, or not Ellie, but like when
Abby.
you're Abby.
Yes.
Yeah, when you're Abby, can you just let Ellie kill me? Because I hate Abby. You can't.
Yeah.
Gosh, this game is so divisive. Not divisive, but it's such a mind. I can't find a right word. It's not an F word.
It's a mind job. It's an absolute mind job.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy. There's no right or wrong
No.
answer here. It's like
Right.
it's I liken it to this. Whoever you are as a person, whatever you think is right and wrong, whatever your moral compass is, whatever you think is true north, whoever you are, it says a lot about how you're going to view a game like this or this story. Who you are is going to make the difference in how you view this game. You know,
Yeah.
you can if you're on the side of Abby deserves a revenge, you're not wrong for thinking that. If you're on the side of Joel is a changed person and he deserves a second chance, you're not wrong for that. Like there's no right or wrong answer here. But Abby doesn't know that Joel is a changed person and what he's done and what he went through. Ellie kind of does, but at the same time, it's complicated. He's guilty of a lot. There's a lot of bodies and bloodshed, you know, that are littered behind him that he used to get to the place where he is at right now. I don't think it's unreasonable to think that eventually something from your past is going to come back to haunt you a little bit. You definitely and her using him to get back to the, you know, home base just so that she can live. Okay, fine. If you want to hate her a little bit for that, you can. I don't. I'm just like, I'm still on the side of, I don't like what she did, but at the same time, She's probably doing this because it completely removes everybody else who's in Jackson away from the equation. You know, they were all worried about that. Like, we don't want to kidnap somebody. We don't want to hurt anybody else, so we can't go down there. This is a sign. I could absolutely see somebody like Abby saying, this is a sign. This is, for all intents and purposes, this is divine intervention. This is a clear sign that I'm on the right path. I can absolutely see that.
But it doesn't change the outcome.
No.
So therefore, irrelevant. No. Totally irrelevant. And that's why I have a problem with it. And I think the thing is this. Like, we can look at... there's a very clear thing that social media has put out many times. It's like, you don't know what other people have gone through. So treat people with respect and love. And that's... that's a fact that no matter who you are, no matter what walk you're on or part of, you have to recognize somebody could have lost their mother today and they're driving like a jerk. And you're like, look at this idiot. And you run them off the road, or whatever. Or look at this dummy who's going through this. Like, you realize their daughter and their mother died the same day and you're treating them like crap. Like, now you're on top of that. It's like, we don't know.
You don't know
what other people have gone through. We don't know the people who have, like Joel, gone through some like recognition, some realization of where they were wrong. We don't know where they're at, but yet we're going to judge them, and we're going to treat them based off of our own judgment.
Well, you're gonna judge him, and you're gonna treat him based off of his actions, right?
Right.
It's not.
So here, his actions are save the person who needs help.
To Abby, it is, you killed my daughter and damned the rest of the world.
To Abby, you killed my father.
Yes.
And damn the rest of the world. Yet you saved me, some person you didn't know. And now she can look at this and say, you killed my father, yet you saved me.
One.
And I'm not gonna go beyond this because
what we're
seeing here.
I'm sorry. I'm just not on the side of one good deed erases things that you did.
Of course.
I don't think that that's true.
Of course. But the point is, everybody can change.
Sure, everybody can change.
But the problem that we all face is, just because somebody has in their own mind a revelation, some kind of drastic change or a conviction or whatever, does not change people's perception of you.
So I like true crime, and I try to stay away from that kind of thing here, but I'm going to use an example. BTK was a prolific serial killer back in the 70s and the early part of the 80s, right? He was finally arrested in like 08, 05, somewhere in there. He hadn't killed anybody in decades.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. He's still going to prison for the rest of his life.
Still has to face the time.
Still has to face the time. It doesn't matter that he changed. It doesn't matter that he wasn't doing those kind of things anymore. It doesn't matter that he had a family, he had a child, he was working in a church. None of that mattered. He did these things in his younger life, and now he's going to pay for them. Joel is in the same predicament. Joel killed Abby's father, condemned the rest of the world, potentially, and he deserves what he has coming. I believe that. I don't think that him saving Abby just absolves him of what he did. I don't think that's no. One good deed, no.
But this is no, not one good deed. But this comes down to, we don't know the full story of anybody else's story.
No.
And this is where the world is. We go like, well, we can take like 10 steps back and go, well, this happened, and that happened. Therefore, this should happen. Or we can take 20 steps back and go, oh, well, all these things happened, and then these other things happened in between all that stuff. So this should happen, which could be the opposite.
Sure.
But we could take 100 steps back and see.
I hear where you're coming from.
And recognize that. So that's the whole thing, is like, now we're looking at this, playing God and saying they deserve it. They deserve it. Nobody deserves it, or everybody deserves it.
I think everybody deserves it. I think everybody I think
Exactly.
everybody has to pay for what they eventually. I believe in
Yeah.
karma.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
gonna come back around eventually. Like whatever
it
you did
should.
in some way, in some shape or form, it's gonna come back around, and something's gonna happen. I believe in karma.
It should.
What's about to happen to Joel, in my opinion, is karmic justice. It is. It is. I don't think that I don't think that he should be forgiven. I don't think that Abby is in a position where she has to forgive him. Oh, you saved my life, so I'm gonna forgive you. No. I don't see things that way at all.
Well, yeah.
I just don't. Like it's not it's I don't know. I'm gonna
Nobody on this earth is innocent.
No. Everybody's
And
done something.
I'm not gonna get preachy. I'm
No,
just gonna say
I know.
nobody here is innocent.
Of course not. Of
We are
course
all
nobody's innocent. Everybody's guilty of something. Everybody has sinned.
exactly.
Everybody's guilty of something. I'm on board with
Exactly.
you. I'm just on the side of
in earthly justice, anything is game.
I guess so. I'm on that
Really,
side.
because everybody has a perspective. Everybody does. The good, the bad, everybody has a perspective.
I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
So,
You're not wrong.
that's what this game and the show is trying to portray.
Yes, it's what it does. Yes.
And they did this on purpose to make us shake our foundations and just be like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And you start questioning yourself. You play the game and you're like, I don't want to play this character because I don't like them.
Right.
But I have to in order to get to the character I want to play.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
They do it on purpose. It
Of
makes you
course.
go, I hate myself right now.
Well, you have
but
to
I have to hate myself to like myself again.
you have to see things well, that's the thing though. You said it yourself, it's perspective. You have to see things from the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
And everything becomes a little bit more clear. But
Uh-huh.
the thing is, Abby doesn't have the knowledge of everything that Joel went through before the outbreak and his daughter and all the things that he had to do and the road that led him to Jackson. She has none of that. All she has is you killed my father and you put the rest of the world at risk for your own selfish desire. That's as far as Abby is thinking. And you know what? I don't think she's wrong.
No, in her mind, in her circle,
yes,
absolutely
I
justified.
do not think that she's wrong. So
justified.
that's what I will. Yeah, it's you know what? It's messy. It's complicated. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So
No.
but that's what makes it good.
Called himself the savior of the human race. Said he'd come to save the world from destruction and pain. But I said, how can you save the world from itself?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Black and White Reviews. My name is Lee.
My name is Will.
And today we're talking about the second episode of the second season of The Last of Us. Whew. Okay,
yeah,
so
that was
Chuck's not here.
Nope.
And Chuck has not played the game, but we have.
Yes, we have.
So, oh boy. So we
for anybody out there,
during...
who cares, the name of the episode is called "Through the Valley," which was the ending song. That was, I think, that was the original Ellie from the game singing the song, because it was part of the promotional package when the second game was being released. It was Ellie playing that song. I'm just not 100% sure if that was the original Ellie or if that was Bella Ramsey. I don't think it was Bella Ramsey. I think it was her name is escaping me. But anyways.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about that song, "Through the Valley," it's a derivation of Psalm 23. It's mostly all David's psalm. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for God is with me. He leads me beside still waters. He leads me through green pastures. Like it's all directly derived from that psalm. Yet all the credit goes towards themselves, as opposed to God carrying them through it.
Sure.
So it's a very self-seeking version of the psalm, which is, it's to me kind of funny, but it exists. So there it is.
It is. It is. It's Ashley Johnson who's singing the song. which is really cool. That's really
Ashley
cool.
Johnson, the original Ellie.
The original Ellie, who's singing the song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that checks out because it sounds familiar. Yeah.
Nothing like
okay.
It sounds nothing like Bella Ramsey. So
no, not at all. Not at all.
All right. Anyways, whew. So I agreed with you and Chuck last week. It was slow going. I do think that there were some pacing issues last week. This episode more than makes up for it, though, in my opinion. This was fantastic. Once it got going, it really didn't take its foot off of the gas until the very, very end. Full spoiler warnings. This is the episode where Joe bites the dust, and I'm actually surprised they did it in this episode. I figured they would have saved that for like an episode 3 thing. Like I thought that was going to be the cliffhanger. Like they're beating Joel. What are they going to do? And there's Ellie going up to the house, and that typically that's where something like that would end. Not here. They are, who baby.
It lines right up with the game.
100%. Yes.
This. I mean, pacing wise, it's early on in the game.
Yes.
Which, I mean, the game had, 24 chapters? And
Roughly.
we're probably only going to have,
a lot.
9 of this.
A lot. It's a lot going on in the second game. It's a long game.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just... Whew.
I know you're not... Listen, I know you're not one to, be all that enthused or good at giving your initial thoughts. You would kind of like to let things resonate for a little while. So I mean, and that's fine. We don't have to really, go into a whole lot of detail. Just I love the episode. I really enjoyed what this episode had to offer. I especially like the changes. Jackson gets overrun. That does not happen in the game. It was a happy change.
It's funny because Chuck kept saying, this is going to happen. And we're going, yeah. I mean, And I did think, he might be right because they might derive from the game.
Sure. Sure. But I think the giveaway is when they, when they, last episode where they show the pipe or the sewage pipe or whatever original, and it had all the veins and the spores and everything running through it. Like you knew something was going to happen. I did not see Jackson being overrun this way. This was rough. This was rough. Oh,
yeah.
It was fantastic. The visuals were absolutely incredible. There are a couple of parts in the episode where you see a bunch of undead zombies, runners, clickers, everything. Even have the bloaters. They're running through the snow, and it just looked amazing. It looked absolutely incredible. Even when Abby comes across the grave of undead, and they all just come pouring out of the snow. It was like
this quicksand of snow.
True.
Quick snow.
Yes. 100%. Yes.
One thing twitched, and all of a sudden they all woke up, and you're like, no,
this ain't good.
And you and I just sat there with our jaws down to the floor,
yeah, that's
okay. Here we are.
Yes.
This is what's happening now.
100%.
Yeah, it was
100%.
not what we expected. So, like I mentioned while we were watching it, I think the idea they're kind of going for is the same thing that The Walking Dead did, where it's there's a fan base who knows where the story should go based off of the original content.
100%.
And what they do is they say, okay, how do we appease the fans who know this story, yet shock them, just like we would shock a brand new fan? And the only way you can do that is to change it enough, but not change it too much. I would say so far they've done enough changes to shock us.
Yeah.
But not make us go, this is nothing like with the game.
True.
So they've done a good job.
They've done a very good job. And especially when they are hitting the game beats, Abby, running away from all the runners, and she's crawling through the fence, and the fence caves in a little bit more, and then she has to crawl, and then right at the last minute something grabs her. It's spot on, straight out of it. It looked amazing. This
you
one,
and I both shouted out at that moment, oh, they're gonna do it.
Do it.
Fence,
absolutely,
and they did it.
do
and
it.
We're
Do it.
Yes, it looked better than the game.
Yeah, of course it did. Yeah,
because the game was nerve wracking. This was oh, she's dead. Even though I know where it's gonna go, she's dead. No, she's not. They did a great job.
Yeah.
really making you feel like this was the end.
Yeah.
So good for them.
It's yeah,
Good for
100%.
them.
If there's one change that they made that I'm not quite sure about, it was the decision not to have Tommy go out with Joel.
Yeah.
Because it creates
Well, I mean,
it creates some problems later on because Tommy sees it. Tommy's there when it happens, so it gives Tommy a little extra motivation to do what he does. I won't get into that now. It gives Tommy a little extra motivation to do what he does and go off and blah blah blah.
true.
Here
Yeah.
he's not there. Jackson is overrun. I really don't see Tommy going off to do anything with the state that Jackson is in right now. The show created an excuse to keep Tommy in Jackson, so I don't know
Yeah.
how they're going to further that storyline. I don't know if they are going to further that storyline, but it's definitely one of those things. It's a butterfly effect thing. You change a little thing here and it's going to have massive ramifications down the line. That's
Yeah.
one that I'm like, I'm happy for the changes. I'm happy they split everybody up the way that they did, and I'm happy that we got to see the visual of Jackson being overrun. I'm just wondering what it means for Tommy later on, which I'm all up for being surprised by the show at this point. I mean, the changes that they have made, I've been very pleased with. I've been surprised, and yeah, it's just like it's a nitpicky thing, like. How's it gonna go for Tommy? What's gonna happen now? Just one of those things that's kind of in the back of my mind.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, we've seen more of. So we understand obviously that there's a thing between Ellie and Dina.
Sure.
I mean, we got that at the end of the last episode. There's a thing between Ellie and Dina. Yet there's also this other relationship that is not in the game
Nope.
between Joel and Dina.
Sure.
So now Joel and Dina go out, and there's this situation happening, and she's involved, which she was not involved in the game. So that's gonna change everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that's gonna mean because it made sense in the game because Ellie has her relationship with Dina, and then Tommy, of course, is connected to Joel,
Yeah.
or has his relationship with Joel and
Yeah.
his desire for revenge or whatever.
Yes.
Which we're now not going to see in that same capacity.
I don't.
So
Yeah.
so what does that mean? Does that mean that Tommy's no longer
A
a
player.
factor?
Yeah. That's kind
Is
of
he
where
just
I'm
gonna be the
at.
guy hanging back?
It kind
But
of.
then again, Dina kind of was supposed to be the person hanging back, but
I guess. I guess. I don't know.
I don't want to get too much into the game, but we
No.
understand that there's like somebody out here and there's people back here, and they're all trying
Yes.
to like go here to.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
see how that's even gonna line up anymore.
I don't see. Simply because of what we just saw happen with Jackson. I don't see Tommy leaving.
No, not at all. He needs to stay there
He
because
needs to
somebody
stay there.
needs to
He's
save him.
needed.
Yeah.
He is desperately needed there right now. I don't see
Absolutely.
him just saying, "Well, gotta go. See you later, guys." That's not gonna go over too well with the missus. I wouldn't imagine.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So, but yeah, I love this. I enjoyed this. I didn't go back and rewatch last week's episode. I will go back and rewatch this one. This is one that I will watch again sometime during the week. So,
Yeah, oh man.
I know. It's right. I know. You don't like doing this. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's a good way to put it.
I can see now, and I'm not saying like I justify it, but I can see how, the actress playing Abby,
Yes. I know you're about to pull her name up, so I'm not even gonna bother.
yeah, no, I've got it here. So the way that they're doing this, oh boy, it's so. Okay, so she's not playing the Abby that we saw. We've talked about this already. She's not playing the same Abby.
No.
Because the Abby we saw jacked herself up. And it's not just about physical, it's about like she trained and trained and trained.
Yes.
The Abby we see here just festered and festered and festered. We don't see
Yes.
training. We
No.
don't see that. There's no skill. There's no, I mean, anything beyond just being angry.
Yeah.
But when the time comes for her to do what she needs to do in her own mind,
Sure.
she does it,
She does it.
and she doesn't hold back.
Nope.
So, Caitlin Dever here, who plays Abby, when it came down to it at the end of this episode, she delivered.
Yeah.
She delivered the way
Yeah.
that she did it, the way she spoke to Joel, and even the way she spoke to Ellie. I was like, okay. As much as I've been ripping on her for like an episode and 3/4, I'm like, all right,
The way
I'll give
it
to
was,
her.
it was a little more than that. It was the way that she took command of the entire situation. She gets in
Yeah.
there, she shoots Joel in the leg, and she immediately like turns to the other woman, tourniquet that. Like the way that she commanded everybody in that room, and everybody
Yeah.
just kind of listened and followed suit. That
Yeah.
is the Abby that we know from the game, where
Right.
she's running the show. That's the Abby that we know from the game, and it worked for what it was. It
It
worked
did.
for what it was. Do I
And with
go ahead?
Go ahead. No, you go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, I I don't 100% buy it, because a lot of the reason why everybody in the room listens to Abby in the game is because she's a brute of a woman. Like
Yeah.
Abby is built like an ox, and in the game she looks like she could take everybody in that room out without blinking an eye by brute
Right.
force alone. And it's the reason why she's able to command them with such an iron fist in the game. Here, she's outside, she's frail looking, she's shivering, she's holding her gun, she's cold, she's tired. Like, the whole thing, she looks lost. She falls down a snowy, like, mountain, whatever, like that, running for, like, all of that isn't really the Abby that we know from the game. She's much more assured of herself in the game. But when she's in it, and it's time to do the dirty, she's in it. And that
Right.
worked very, very well. It worked very well.
And I think this goes back to something I touched upon last week. The reason why they picked this actress. I mean, let's go way back. You remember the backlash we had from Gal Gadot, or Gal Gadot, whatever,
Yes, Wonder Woman.
to play Wonder Woman? It's
Yeah.
like you got this skinny little supermodel
You got a model,
to
yeah.
play an Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We saw an Amazon before. It was Xena, the warrior princess.
Yes.
And
yes.
she was like basically like China Light. But like it
Ah!
worked.
Yeah.
Come on, she
Okay.
was China Light. is
Yeah,
what she
kind of.
was.
Yes.
And it's like it makes sense. She's got muscles, she's tall, like she's got something going on. And you got Gal Gadot, and she's like, "Hi. I'm pretty." So when
I want my
we get
dead boyfriend back.
yeah. So we got Caitlin Dever come in, and then we see Bella Ramsey, and they're trying to make Bella Ramsey be like higher than she was when she was a kid, you know,
Yeah.
pretending to be some concierge at a hotel and playing the piano or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do we make her higher and then bring Abby down so the two of them can be somewhat on a level playing field?
I know.
And that's what they're trying to do here. And I know you disagree, and I disagree too. But I'm
Okay.
saying that's what they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
Physically, they're both right there. But
Yeah.
it comes down to Bella Ramsey being unpredictable and just like ruthless, and Abby just being full of revenge. And now we're going to have this revenge. They're both on the same playing field, back and forth for the rest of this season, series,
Sure.
whatever. It's the only way they could do it, because if we saw a jacked Abby, I'm sorry, Bella Ramsey is not touching that.
She's toast.
Not happening.
It's a wrap.
It's like John Connor versus Arnold.
Yeah.
Like, not gonna happen.
And they even
know?
kind of make a point of that in the first episode, where you see her sparring with her buddy there, and
Yeah.
it's like he held back.
I pulled my punches. Yeah.
I pulled my
Yeah.
punches because if I didn't, I could have killed you. Like, obviously.
Right. They're getting
You go
that
into
point
it
across.
now. If you go into a situation where she's toe to toe with another like massive person, that's a wrap, because that Abby's not gonna hold her punches. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't like that. I just don't like it. what made the fight fair was Abby was smart, and that Ellie was smart, and Ellie was tactical. She used her environment to her advantage. That's what makes Ellie skilled. But in the game, when Abby gets her hands on her, it's not a pretty day. So I'm just saying, like, it's not. I don't understand why they couldn't. Well, maybe they just couldn't find a good enough actress. Maybe they just couldn't find that. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I'm on your side with this one. She should be bigger. I just think that she should be bigger. She should be bigger, and she should be able to really handle her own. And I don't know. I don't see how this is going to work out all that well. I just don't. But regardless of that, I'm still enjoying what the show is, and I'm enjoying the road that it's going down. Even the surprises, the things that aren't in the game, it's a pleasant surprise. This episode was amazing. And usually I don't change my mind all that much after I watch something. I can usually watch it like once and I can come to a decision like, I like this, I don't like this. This I like much better than last week. And even earlier when we were watching the episode and Chuck had messaged, this should have been the premiere. I disagree with that. I don't think it should have been the premiere. I don't think you start off with this type of a bang. You have to establish everything before you do that. And hindsight being 2020, now I kind of understand why the first episode was what it was. It was trying to establish an emotional connection to Jackson, so that when you get to this episode, it's like boom, 100%. I'm on board 100%. Doesn't change the fact that the first episode was really slow, but I'm just saying it served its purpose. There was a point to why it was like that. This episode hit a lot harder. This episode hit massive. So just a series of downers. The snowstorm happens. They can't communicate with each other. Joel gets captured and gets killed. Ellie's out there by herself and comes across everything. Jackson is literally on fire. And people are dying. You saw one guy at the end that got bit and everything. So yeah. And the silver lining is Lee had a cameo in the episode, so that was kind of cool to see too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Anyways,
like I said, I'm not going to tell anybody about that because
no.
It was one of those uncredited things. Where like, I'm there, but I can't. I don't get royalties, so I can't say anything about
it. And that's what you want. You want the royalties.
I'm laughing only because of this. It's not a racial thing, but it's funny because Danny Ramirez plays Manny Alvarez. I'm sorry, but that is the most completely lateral name I've ever heard. Danny Ramirez is playing Manny Alvarez. I'm sorry. If you want to be not known, not recognized,
that's what you do.
And not stand out, just keep playing these characters that have the exact same name.
He is the
new Falcon. No offense to Danny Ramirez. I don't want to be offensive. I just feel like when they cast him in this, they were like, let's be as racist as possible and just give him the exact same name.
I don't know if it's racist. I think it's lazy.
I think it's
lazy. I think it's late. It's like if a guy named Billy got onto a television show and played a guy named Bob.
Okay.
It's the same thing. It's just a lackluster name. It's just
Danny and Manny are the same name. Danny and Manny?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I've watched movies where their first name is the same first name, and they're like, "Hey, Will." It's like, "Oh, perfect. This works out."
That works. All right.
Then you watch a movie like Back to the Future and The Frighteners, where Marty, where Michael J. Fox is going, Doc! Oh, sorry, I meant Judge.
Yeah.
Judge!
Yeah.
Doc! Yeah. You're just throwing out a title instead of a name. But anyway, I just think it's darn it, Danny. I wish they gave you a better name.
Danny and Manny. Okay.
Danny and Manny. Danny Ramirez to Manny Alvarez.
Oh man.
But Pedro Pascal, that stands out.
Yeah.
But he's all done now except
I
for
guess so.
flashbacks, which I hope
Well,
they give
yeah. Yeah. I hope we get a couple of
because the game
flashbacks.
did.
Yeah. We have
Um,
to. I don't think they'll shy away from that. I think we'll get the
they can't.
flashbacks.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
some good stuff in there.
There's some
Um,
amazing stuff in there. I mean, one of my favorite parts about the game is when you're at the museum, like, and you just when you in the second game when you're at the museum and he gets the tape of the moon landing and you put the
Yeah.
headphones on and she's
That
in
was
there and she
cool.
got the helmet and everything. That's a really cool thing. So
Yeah, that was cool. But I mean, overall, I think the thing is they had to find a way to bring Abby down and bring Ellie up
yeah,
to get them on the same playing field, but
yeah,
have different
yeah.
motivations.
They want it fair. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't do it in real life the way they did it in the game. It's
No,
just it's hard to do.
no. I think
You know,
maybe it's just a fear of when we get the fight, it'll just be unbelievable. Or it would have been an unbelievable thing. Like this is not realistic.
well,
Like
the end fight.
Ellie should
If you
not
talk
have
about the
this.
end fight,
Yeah, Ellie should not have the. Well, not the end fight. I'm talking about the fight in the movie theater in the game. The fight in the
yeah,
movie theater in the game where it's like they're so evenly matched in that point where it's to the point where it's unrealistic and it would come off even more unrealistic on like a live action thing. I'm guessing.
right.
It's just me speculating, but it is what it is. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna spend too much time harping on that. But yeah, good episode.
yeah,
I liked it. Thumbs up.
yeah. I mean,
Thumbs up.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm right there with you.
Okay.
Right there
I'm
with
done.
you.
Been a
Right,
long
I'm
night.
done.
I'm
I'm done
tired.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, he's tired.
Okay. Toodles.
Ta ta.
Ta-ta.